It is the holiday season. Tree is up. If you're watching the YouTube version of this, you see the Christmas frame all around. If you're listening to the podcast, you're missing out. It's a very cool effect, but that's the way it goes. Sorry. With the holidays, the happy times, the family gathered times, Santa coming in, the kids excited times, also comes the crowded shopping areas, the people cussing you out because you got the spot they had their eye on, the family that is hard to coordinate as to when we can all get together because the grown children are supposed to go to the in-laws, and it causes a lot of stress. And then we get to the actual holiday where the family actually is gathered, and people, that energy can sometimes be toxic. It ends up not being a fun holiday situation. It ends up being torture because of the family arguments and judgment dynamics. You know, we could just put a love and light, everything is wonderful spin on it, but this holiday time can be hell for people that are empathic. Now, if you're not sure if you are an empath, that is someone that picks up the emotions of the people that are in their vicinity. It's also energy. Everything is energy, so I may refer to either one. But empaths will pick up these emotions to their own detriment. If you're not sure if you're an empath, there is a quick quiz online called empath-test.com. It is not very time-consuming, and it'll give you an idea of where you fall on the spectrum. If you're above 70, you're a pretty strong empath. And the way it works is, say you get up in the morning and you're feeling great. I'll use two analogies. First, the onion. So if you're an onion, you wake up in the morning, you have your couple little layers of regular onion skin, and then you head out for work and you stop to get some coffee, but the barista is having a really bad morning and takes it out on you. Very cranky. Suddenly you're not feeling so good. You just added a couple layers to the onion. Then you get to the office. Your coworker had a fight with her husband last night and has to tell you every little detail. Now you're really not feeling good. You just added several layers to that onion. So you slog through your workday, you get home. Maybe your partner has had a very bad day and is taking it out on you or the kids, or maybe isn't talking at all, but because you're an empath, you know they're really feeling lousy and it's pulling at your heartstrings and you wish you could help. Well, you think you're helping by taking on their energy, their emotions. It doesn't really work that way. And I guess I'll just cover that point right now. A lot of empaths think that if they take on this anxiety, depression, whatever it is, that they are helping the person that they have taken it from. And it doesn't work that way. It doesn't ease their burden. It just adds to yours. And it makes you less effective if you choose to try to help them through whatever they're going through. Because if you keep taking on other people's energy, it pulls down your own energy. And you're just not of that much help if you don't do something about it. Now, the other analogy is a backpack. So say you get up in the morning, you put on your backpack, and you just have a couple of your own little rocks, you know. Then you meet the barista. Plop, 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 there's a few rocks in the backpack that weren't there before. You get to work, listen to the co-worker, a whole avalanche of rocks. Then you get home, partner is not happy camper. Your backpack just got full. And by the time the evening is closing out and you're heading to bed, you are carrying this very heavy burden of all the energy that you've picked up during the day. Now, as if that isn't bad enough, just imagine not clearing any of that out, not emptying the backpack at the end of the evening. You start with that 50 pounds. The next day, add another 50 more. I mean, if you are an empath, you probably have had times when you feel like you're literally trying to walk through mud, where your boots are being grabbed onto by this heavy, gunky stuff, and it's an effort to move anymore. It will literally suck the energy out of you and make it a struggle to get through your day. If it gets really bad, you may find that you isolate yourself. You don't want to be out among people. You just feel bad and you're not sure why. You just know it might have something to do with being out, so you stay in. None of that's good for you. So there is a way to combat that. The first thing is to just become aware that this is something you do. Just know, if you start to see your mood become altered when you're around other people, you have a choice. You can say, yeah, sure, I'll take this on. Poor thing, I feel so bad. I'll just carry around a little of this energy. Or you can say, oh, you know what? I have compassion, and I would be happy to help in whatever way I can. But as to taking on their energy and weighing myself down, I'm not going to. There are other ways I can help, because me taking that on is not really going to help, and it's just going to make me less effective when I try to help them through this. You also can put up what some people call protection. You can consider it a barrier. Just something that may keep some of that energy out. Now, some people like the bubble. I'm not a big fan of the bubble because I think safety pin, boop, it's gone. I personally think for really strong empaths that one of the best things, maybe one of the silliest things, is to, with intention, put on the protection or barrier of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Guy. If you have seen the Ghostbusters, the big old float, the marshmallow guy. And the reason that seems to work is, if you think about it, if you grab a marshmallow out of the sack and you try to poke your finger through it, it doesn't go instantly through. You have to work on it, and it's kind of gross. It's ooey and gooey, and you might just give up. So if someone that is trying to keep out some of other people's emotions has that idea with their intention that they have this marshmallow protection, when they do realize someone's trying to poke at them, drag them down, bug them a little, puff out the marshmallows. At the very least, because it takes time to get through the marshmallows, you have time to acknowledge, hold on here, Nellie, this isn't mine, and I'm not going to take it on. Unfortunately, the sad truth is that for many of us, no matter what we do, a lot of that energy still gets through. And I am a very strong advocate for clearing that energy. So I'm going to share a couple ways that are very easy. All you have to do is set the intention, and remember, your intention is all powerful. It may seem silly, some of these things. It may seem like it won't do a thing, but you should try it. So the first thing is showers or baths. Now, you can do the whole salt bath routine if you like. I have found body wash that has sea salt in it because I don't have bathtubs at my house, just showers. But you can still have the intention, should still have the intention, that as you take that bath or shower using that sea salt body soap, you are clearing off any energy that does not serve you. It's like water goes down the drain, goes to Gaia, and then it is restored to its pure natural state of love. In my opinion, anyway. Maybe I'm a bit fanciful in the way I see these things. You can just say, hey, I'm done with it, so that's better for me. and be done with it, that's fine. Now, the next thing may offend some people if they have a thing about not talking about bodily functions. But let's face it, we all go to the bathroom. So you're releasing toxins anyway. Why not set the intention that as you go to the bathroom, you are also releasing any energy that isn't good for you, that does not serve you? You know, if you don't want to have to think about it too much or make much effort, those are two pretty easy things. Usually people bathe and go to the bathroom every day. Now, I'm going to teach you a way to clear your energy that is still pretty fast. And I will say that if you are more of a ritual person or you like long, complicated meditations that make you really work, you are most welcome to check out YouTube. I'm sure you can find many that are going to be right up your alley. Me, I like things short and sweet, down and dirty. And usually I will do the shower thing, but if too much gets in, then I need to do this. Now, what you're going to experience kind of has to do with what gifts you have. You may not think you have any. That's a whole nother video or podcast. I'm doing this for both, so we'll see how this goes. I hold out my right hand, palm up, as my gathering hand, and with my intention, I say that I want to gather all energy that is not for my highest good, that doesn't serve me, that's not good for me. And that's whether I picked it up from other people or it's my own crap, you know, because we put ourselves through a lot of not feeling good energy just on our own. So you don't want any of it. You don't have to keep yours. You get to dump it too. Now, some people that have the gift of clairvoyance may actually see the energy as it builds up in their hand. Some people that have the gift of clairsentience may feel a weight. You know, their hand may literally start to feel like they're holding something heavy. You may feel a change in temperature. You may feel a tingle. It depends on how you sense energy. And if you think that you don't sense anything at all, you may be surprised, but just know that with your intention, it's a done deal. So I say start with gathering a ping pong ball, then move it up to baseball, basketball next, and when it gets to beach ball size, that's probably enough for most people to manage. So now you picture that there's a shiny new aluminum trash can next to you, lid off. I like putting a little physical effort into it, so I like actually slam dunking. But if there are people around and you don't want to look like you've lost your marbles, don't worry about it. With your intention, you can still deposit that energy. So put it into the garbage can, close the lid, and then dispose of it in whatever way resonates with you. Personally, I send it off to Archangel Michael. Same thing that Gaia does. I like to think that it gets recycled and the crap energy is turned into love. But if you don't buy into that, then have the virtual trash collector come get it. Or if you don't even want that stage, just pretend that you kick it out the door or turn your back on it. In some way, release that energy. It is not part of you anymore. And when you take that action, whatever it is that works for you, you will probably feel a little lighter. Now, if you haven't been clearing your energy at all, it's going to take a few times before you notice a big difference. And look how quick that was, just a couple minutes. So you can do that as many times in a day as you want to. When you can identify that you are out of whack or out of balance or just feeling strong emotions that your life circumstances don't really explain, consider that you may have picked up energy from the people around you and clear it really fast. or if you have a situation that's ongoing in your life, a particular person that triggers you into anger or sadness or whatever, go ahead and name what you're clearing out for the specific dump into the trash can, and then clear out whatever else is there. It gives it a little more oomph, I think, when we know exactly what it is that we are releasing. And then give yourself credit that you didn't just wallow in those bad feelings, that you're doing something proactive to make yourself feel better. In my opinion, it's a good idea to at least clear before you go to bed. Why not start the next day out fresh instead of with that backpack that still has some rocks in it, or that onion that's so full of layers that, it's going to be like throwing a rock into a lake with the weight of it. All I can say is holiday times do tend to put more strain on people, just from the sheer numbers of people that are populating the areas that you normally go to and are not so overwhelmed with activity. So give yourself a break. Try clearing your energy, even if it seems very silly. And I will just say, in my experience, the strong empaths are the most stubborn about not wanting to do this. Remember that when you take it on from someone else, you're not being of service. You're not doing them any favors. You're just loading yourself down and pretty much taking away the ability to lend your services in different ways to them, I guess I will say. Aside from that, enjoy the season. There's plenty positive. Decorating the house, putting up the tree, seeing the kids getting excited about Santa. There is a lot of magic in the season. Don't let this other stuff take away from that good stuff. All right, take care.